Hello, welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia and I am an urban gardener growing on about 154 square feet of space in my backyard. It's a bit windy today. Actually, it is evening time. I think probably around 6 or so. Anywho, what I'm doing today is starting to try to clear out the beds. My plants that have survived the winter, I'm going to move them to a bed that I won't be using until about May. So all I'm gonna do is pull my straw from around my vegetable plant. And this is a Russian kale. And I'm going to dig up the root ball. So right around the plant, I'm gonna dig it up. My daughter is trying to break some concrete that we had pulled up a few weeks ago that hopefully next week will be gone. Weekend, it'll be gone. I hold these right. Don't know, lady. All right. So now we have our plant with a good amount of roots, and we're gonna go over to the other bed that I'm going to plant it in. This bed has already been amended with compost as well. So just gonna take this, sit it down in there. Gonna water this in really good. So it is the next day. I meant to say last night, I got the idea to move my surviving leafy greens to other beds from Rusted Garden. I can't remember his name, but his channel is very good. I watch his channel all the time. He's on YouTube, and that is Rusted Garden. Today, I am going to work on fertilizing the beds, leaving the lettuces. I'm leaving the rutabaga. There's a couple of cabbage that's in here. I planted some turnip seeds not too long ago, so I'm gonna leave those. But what I'm doing today, let's see. I'm gonna plant some onions. I am going to fertilize the strawberry. I'm gonna fertilize the blueberry. Oh, and then we're gonna take care of the rose bushes. So come on with me. The only thing I'm gonna do is pull back all of my straw. Like I said, I have already put compost on these beds. Okay, so I have some Garden Tone by Espoma. It's just a vegetable garden bed fertilizer, granulated and organic. And also this bag was ripped, so I got it for 50% off, so that was a plus. I normally go to the garden centers looking for the bags that are torn, especially if they're still almost full, like this one, because I can get it for 50% off. Why not? I'm gonna go through with my hands. I'm probably gonna get some gloves, mostly for my nails. I'm gonna go through and work this into the top few layers of the soil. At the end of all of this, once I've done all the beds, I'm going to water this in, and I'm gonna put all of the straw back on the bed for the remainder of the spring. I have put fertilizer, granulated fertilizer in all of these beds. This one, that one, that one, the one down there, and then this bed here, I did too. There's potatoes in that bed. I put them in fall. We'll see what happens. Last year I did it in one of the raised beds and it worked. I don't know if it'll work on a no dig because the soil probably did freeze or the ground froze or whatever. I forgot to turn the camera on. So this is blueberry row right there. So I fertilized with bone meal, blood meal, and Hollytone. Hollytone is good for acidity. So yeah, I am moving right along today. I want to show you something. I put potatoes in bags. I just went and grabbed some potatoes from Lowe's. There are, what, 6 bags? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 bags. Of those 6 bags, 3 have potato action. That's a very small potato action down there. If you can see it, there it goes. And then this one, actually 4. I take that back. That's a Kennebec. And then this is a blue. I guess that's a potato. It's purplish, so I believe that that is the potato. I've never grown them before. So my potatoes are coming up. My next thing is I'm going to put some garlic out. I am about 5 days behind the last day that my local feed and seed stores chart says I can put these out, but I am gonna do it and just see what happens. And they are gonna go in this bed right here. I only had about half of this bed being used, so I'm gonna go ahead and give it a try. I'm also gonna put my onions in. I need my bone meal. So root vegetables, bone meal is helpful. It helps them to establish roots. And since it's a root vegetable, I'm going to throw some bone meal into this bed because I am going to plant root vegetables. Be right back. Okay, so I'm just going to put some on here. And I already put fertilizer in this bed. Hopefully, the granulated fertilizer. Hopefully that won't cause a problem. But if it does, I will have learned that lesson, right? Also, these are short day onions. I live in Virginia. I needed intermediate day. But in researching last night, I found out that I could, and this was from a source in Virginia, that I found, Piedmont region of Virginia. I don't live in the Piedmont region, but it said that I can grow short day onions in spring. So anyway, I'm gonna try these. I'm happy in fall. This bed and the bed over here doesn't get much sun, but it's about 1 o'clock and we have full sun on this bed, so I think I should be fine to do this. This will be my first vlog type post. Y'all let me know what you think about that. I'm thinking about making Wednesdays more of a vlog of what I'm doing in the garden, since I can now do something in the garden. Look at her. Let's see. She's not allowed in here because she tears up everything. So she just sits at the beginning of the bed, and then she kind of inches until I say no. And now I'm going to move on to the garlic, which is over there. Only not far though. All right, we're gonna move on to the garlic. I put a little bit of blood meal in here. Bone meal. I'm gonna add a little bit more right here. The back part of this bed will be in use at the beginning of the season, so I'm only planting enough to go halfway, I guess. We'll see. And then after I finish this, I'm gonna water it in, but also a portion of that water is going to be fish emulsion. Connection to the wind is blowing. Hey son, you work today? Oh, you're off. Nice. I need to go to the gym. Are you going somewhere? Maybe later? Maybe now?
3 o'clock, maybe 2 o'clock.
Oh, well, I can go later on tonight. No, biggie. So I was telling you, I have broccoli. We got broccoli coming in. Woohoo! It's a very small one on there. if you can see it. Yep. And then that one plant I was telling you that I really wanted to leave because that I knew I would get some side shoots. That has some side shoots on it, so not pulling that just yet either. But I'm getting some work done. Look at the flower bed, it's beautiful to me. And then the mint is on the back. This is chamomile, and that is lemon balm. Both of them coming back on their own. Those are starts of, I want to say feverfew. I lost the tag for it. Actually, maybe hyssop. I'm not really sure. It's one of the two. And then these are all mint that came back from last year. These two are calendula pots, but there's no calendula in them. So that's the garden today. I'm working in it, but that's the garden. Never mind the pool or the cement blocks. Let me show you something. So I moved all of these yesterday. They look super sad, but I watered them in really well, and I gave them some fish emulsion. So in the next few days, it should come back looking pretty good. So I will update you all on that. I'm gonna focus on my rose bushes. These are knockout roses. They're little tiny roses. I wanted bigger roses. I guess I didn't pay attention when I purchased them. But I really don't have a spot for a large rose bush anyway. The leaves are starting to come in. And so this is when the internet says I should be fertilizing them. I make notes. I keep notes of everything. So I am keeping notes of when I did everything I did out here today. If it works, I'll continue that. If it doesn't, then I will do some more research. So the only thing I'm gonna do to these is around what they call the drip line. So that's like where the branches would come out and where the water would drip down from the leaves. Kind of feel like that's what it means. That's where I'm gonna fertilize. So I'm not gonna fertilize right up on the plant. I'm gonna fertilize around the plant. And I'm just gonna do bone meal, blood meal, and compost. So this can, my chicken is screaming. I don't know if you can see this parsley. It has been here uncovered all winter. Can you see that? Okay, so just gonna get a handful of blood meal. Blood meal is good for nitrogen. All plants need nitrogen. Not all the same amount in some cases, but all plants need nitrogen. Bone meal is good for root production, and also if you have a flowering plant, it's good for flowering plants. So I'm just gonna work it in a little bit. I'm not gonna do a lot of digging into the dirt. You can't see what I'm doing. Just gonna take the tips of my fingers and kind of work it in. I got stuck. These are not thornless roses. I cut them down just a few weeks ago, honestly. And I cut them down. I did look for not on this one, because I didn't even think about it while I was cutting it, but on the other one, an outward facing bud. But it doesn't seem like it's bothered this one too much. I think this one just may be a little bit shorter than the one over in the corner. Peaches. The peach tree has woken up. It is awake. The apple tree is kind of awake too, and I did go ahead and pull those weeds. I couldn't take it. The apple tree is waking up too. One of the apple trees. There's two back here. The comfrey, I'm planning to use that for fertilizer. Try to be a little more self-sufficient. I put oregano in the ground by the trees. Hopefully it'll be a ground cover, but there's more comfrey right there. Hello, it is Monday. I did not water my garden yesterday. Once I finished everything, I was so tired and I had a headache. So today I'm gonna water the garden and probably gonna plant up my tomato plants. I'm now out in the greenhouse. I have watered all of those beds that I did not water yesterday, but I'm out in the greenhouse because It's tomato potting up time. So the way I'm gonna do that is I have red solo cups from last year that I used to plant in, and I'm basically gonna take off both of the seed, both of the seed leaves, and I'm gonna plant the plant all the way up to here. So I'll go ahead and get started with that. I am using Kellogg's garden soil. Actually not garden soil, it's a container soil. I need some gloves. I'll probably do my peppers sometime next week. They're not looking super leggy or anything. So all of this came in the house last night because it got down to like under 40. So I brought this all in the house last night, but let's do some up potting. I need to find a little chair to put out here, only when I'm in here though. Probably could put any chair in here. So basically I got my cup and I'm gonna open this bag. Probably should have opened the bag before I turned the camera on, but that's neither here nor there. So just gonna fill the cup up with some soil. The cups already have holes because I used them last year. You really should have your soil wet. It's easier that way. Or once you're finished, you can sit the cup into a tray and it'll start to soak the water up, as long as you have good connection with the bottom. All right, so I'm gonna show you. These are my Ace 55s. Ace 55, I think that is a determinant. So just gonna easily, these are pretty damp because I watered them last night. Easily slide it out of the container. You can see, my cup fell over. You can see the roots, but for tomato plants, all of the little hairs that you see, I don't know if you can see them or not, they'll turn into roots. So I'm gonna sit that down for a minute up here so I don't ruin it. Just gonna dig a pretty deep hole in the middle, like so, because you want your whole tomato to be able to go down in there. And then we're just gonna take the tomato and drop it down in there as far as it can go. Doesn't have to be super gentle. Tomato plants don't care. And so there you have it. We have a potted up tomato. When you do this and you plant them this deep, you should start seeing, or your plants will probably be much stronger because the whole stem is planted deep. I'm gonna have to get a pen. I don't have a label for all the Amish tomatoes because they were all in one sale tray, six sale tray. The little greenhouse, let's talk about that a little bit, I guess. It's useful. My plants are in it. If it doesn't get 40 degrees or lower, I put them out once they've grown a good amount. I think I mentioned that I replaced the plastic, but it's not a big deal. Have you planted out your seedlings or anything yet? I am super excited. So last year this time, I had seedlings that were full grown. And I was trying to like get rid of them and give them to other people. I had way too many and they were huge this time last year. So very proud of myself for using some restraint and not planting 50,000 plants that I didn't need and way too early. I think I planted some tomatoes and peppers in like January. And like January, for me, that's a no-go. I'm only gonna do the really tall ones today. Well, not tall, but they're lengthy. I don't wanna say they're tall, because they're not like tall.